I'll hand it over to you to talk about some of that. So I'll put folks in here that the president does know about it and is addressing it. And I'll also apologize that I couldn't make the meeting because I know it was set at the last minute.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to make it myself.
So let me see, today you're hearing things in public comment. I think the students did a good job. They're actually on the agenda officially on May the 28th. So it's an agenda item, and you'll have a chance to actually fully consider it. Let me just say, today there is some truth to what they're saying, right? So the truth of it is that Nonoska Tamayo did get underpaid for 3 months straight. I learned about it on April the 4th when she came to my office. We got her and Dulcia paid within, I think, it was 9 days. It took 9 days to get her fully paid. In doing so, over that 3-month period, they did dig pretty deep, I think, into the books and the accounting. So they do have staff that are at ASO. They do have a ISA that's there with them as well. I think they probably could get better support. In digging deep, John Loyola and others were able to find that the ASO account, I'm learning things as we go as well. There's only 2 places where colleges actually have checking accounts. It's our foundations and our ASO account. And so I have satisfied my initial concern that I had about was there funds being used from the ASO account that were not for ASO purposes. And I do have confidence that that is not the case, but I think there's going to be, we actually have public records requests. They're getting a full, I've given them everything that we had on our hands. We got it recently. They'll get everything they've asked for by tomorrow, end of business, close of business tomorrow. I think we'll have a better understanding of exactly what's happening when we get the agenda item on May the 28th. I'm doing my own investigation, but it does seem there were 5 checks that were pass-throughs. What that means is our college financial administrator would use it as a trust account, would take money, for example, for individual employees that were wanting a bus pass, take that money, put it into the ASO account, and then pay the MTA from those dollars. Apparently, it's something that we did more routinely up until a couple of years ago. We should not be doing it now. I think there were some audit findings maybe a couple of years ago, as I understand. That has stopped since our VP of administration has figured out that this, in fact, was still happening with our CFA. But they have every reason to, in fact, see that kind of situation and be distrustful. We've opened up a deep vein of distrust between Trade Tech and our students. And so I do feel an obligation to, have it be fully aired, fully vetted. At the end of the day, after the agenda item comes up and you want an audit, I think that actually would not be a terrible thing, for our campus, to in fact have that audit of our ASO account. But I do want to say we have some great students at Trade Tech who care deeply about the college, are here for, honestly, I think the right reasons. I also want to say my new Vice President of Student Services is here, Kanisha, even though her daughter is home with 104 people with her husband right now, so I told her not to come, but she insisted on being here. I do think that, we will get to the bottom of it. I'd like to be able to make sure we give you something with a deeper understanding of it when it comes up as an agenda item. I'm happy to answer any questions as well. But the first time it came to me was on April the 4th that I understood this. Do I have an excuse that it didn't get to me when obviously it did have, it's in the hands of my dean prior to that? I don't have an excuse, right? But is there, first time I saw the underlying issues was honestly on Wednesday, and it took me until yesterday for them to agree to sit down with Ganesh and myself, which obviously indicates that there's a distrust issue that needs to be addressed. So I'm here to take my stripes today.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. And just so maybe put board members' nerves at ease, I've talked to Mr. Frank in full confidence that he will proceed with an audit to get down to the bottom of this. And yes, Ms. Palmer.
Thank you. Thank you, President Frank, for investigating it and trying to resolve the problems that you have discovered. And I want to thank the students for being engaged in student government. That's so important. I have two questions. When I hear of a problem or an issue at one college, I always wonder, what about our other colleges? And I have two questions for our staff, and that is, one, have all the other presidents looked into the ASO accounting situation to be sure similar problems are not occurring? And two, if we can resolve it without official audits, I think that's the best if there are other issues at any other colleges as well. But then the second question is how often are the ASO accounts
It's a
audited?
distrust problem. You need an official audit. That's the point.
Look, I'm going to hand this over to the chancellor. The chancellor can prepare a report for the future for us, or at least brief for the future.
Are you on ASOS?
I'll move forward to the next item at hand,
Look
if the
up
board
our
will
Facebook.
indulge.
Yeah, some petitions on that.
I mean, I agree with pretty much everything my colleague said, except I think actually audits
They passed a
are
motion
not
saying
only a
that we
good
adopt
idea,
this
but a
petition.
requirement.
And they tried
And
motions to get
I
our votes
have total confidence in the president trying to work out these issues, fix them, and I'd love to see us learn more through the chance.
Thank you. Unless there's any comments you'd like to make, Madam Chancellor, I'm going to proceed to the next item.
Very quickly. This item was brought to my attention about 2 weeks ago in the President's Council that was held, I think it was May 2nd. We did have a preliminary discussion about the procedures for accounting with regards to the ASO. And since then, General Counsel has forwarded to me the actual board rules, and so we will continue the discussion internally with the college presidents.
Thank you. Move on to the next item. Mr. Christopher White.